Page 14, a surprise. This is a melody from a symphony called the Surprise Symphony by Haydn, a very famous melody. I'd encourage you to go search on Surprise Symphony by Haydn and just listen to the symphony. This melody's in the first movement. It's called Surprise because it's really soft for the most part, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he gives a really loud chord and you're not expecting it, and that's why it's called Surprise Symphony. Anyway, in this lesson we're going to use alternating hands. We're going to use both hands to play this piece, but just one hand at a time. We're still not playing hands together yet. The right hand's going to do the stuff in the upper staff. The left hand's going to do the stuff in the lower staff for now. There's no rule that says that has to be that way. It's just convenient. Your right hand is closer to those notes and the left hand is closer to those notes, so we just use it that way. Later on, you'll find the hands are going wherever. They have some new symbols they're introducing here, and I will get to them when I get to that part of the lesson. In the middle of the page, they talk a little bit about skips. I didn't talk about steps and skips. They're kind of nice to know. It might help you in reading the music. If a note is on a line and the next note is on a space next to it, or if a note is on a space and the next note is on a line next to it, that's called a step. You just step up or down. Yeah. And a skip is anything bigger than that. So here they're talking skips as in both notes are on lines or both notes are on spaces. And you can see in the first few measures here in Surprise, you have C's here, two of them, and then you have E's here. They're on lines. And the next one are the G's, those are on lines. Those are skips. It kind of helps in reading music when you learn to recognize, oh, it's a step up or step down or a skip up or skip, yeah. Otherwise, I don't use them. I don't even think about steps and skips anymore. Anyway, let's go through the routine I use to learn a piece of music and see what we end up with. I look it over, I see it's 2 lines long. The clef signs are still treble clef and bass clef. Remember, the treble clef is called a G clef because it points out where G is on the staff. For instance, here, the lower part of the clef sign, there's a curl. It curls around a circle, almost a circle, with a line that goes through the middle of that, which is the next to the bottom line. That's the G. It's telling you where G is. It's on that line. So in the third measure, those quarter notes, those are G's. If you know where G is, you can figure out any of the other notes by going up or down the alphabet. We don't do that. We just memorize the notes. We don't have time to count, or figure it out, I should say. Now the bottom clef is the bass clef or F clef. That's because the line in between the dots, there's 2 dots in an F clef. Line in between them, that's the F. It's telling you where F is. And then the other notes you can figure out from there. Again, we don't figure them out, we just memorize them. And 2 4-time signatures, so there's 2 counts in a measure, and a quarter note still gets a count. Now, when I'm playing both hands, I like to do one hand at a time first to make sure I know what each hand is doing before I try to put the hands together. But here, you're only playing one hand at a time, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about both hands to shorten the video up. But you can do it one hand at a time if you want to. So we figure out where the hands go. Well, if we look at the beginning, we see in the right hand, the thumb is on middle C. Remember, that is middle C. Thumb here, that puts the hand here. And if we look at toward the end of the line, in the bottom staff, second finger is on a B, and you need to know that note is a B, right below middle C. It's this one. If I put here, that puts the left hand here, so we're in here. So the thumbs are sharing middle C. We call this middle C position. We don't need 2 fingers on a note. There isn't room for most people. So what happens is one hand or the other gets out of the way, so either hand could play it. If the note, the middle C, if the note is in the upper staff, the right hand will do it. And if the C is in the lower staff, the left hand will do it. Generally is how it works. They take turns. Okay. Now, again, if you don't know the names of these notes yet, do the play and say it drill. Just go through and play and say the name of the notes. It's C, C, E, E, G, G, all the way through. At your speed, not mine. Just keep drilling yourself until you know these notes instantly in the music. And hopefully you already know the names of all these keys on the piano. We've used all of them now, all the white keys, because there's only 7 of them. We've used all 7 of them. So you know those. So if you have stickers on your keyboard, it would be good time probably to think about removing them. You don't want to be relying on stickers any longer than you have to. So it's time to know the names of the notes on the keyboard. Now, start out here in the right hand, and I just go through and I play it. 2, 1, 2. Remember, half note gets 2 counts. 1, 2, and then the left hand. 1, 2. You see the idea? Okay. So go through and get the hands working okay, and then go back through any trouble spots and get rid of the hesitations. A steady beat all the way through. And also you need to be able to play this without looking at the keyboard eventually. You might have to look at first, but you want to get to where you can feel where these notes are, where your fingers are. Once I've done that, I think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is soft, piano for soft, and you'll have to decide what soft is, just soft. All the way to the last measure. You see at the bottom, they give you an F with an accent. I'll come back to the accent in a minute. F is loud. So the last 2 measures is soft and then loud. Just a lot of weight. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't hammer. Don't boom. Just let the weight. The note goes down slowly, lightly for a soft one, and it goes down fast and heavy for a loud one. It's the only difference. Now they've introduced the accent sign. I skipped over it before, but let's talk about it. It's the last note in this piece. There's a little sideways arrow above the note. It's called an accent sign. There are other accent signs besides this, but this is the most common. And for piano, an accent simply means you play the note a little louder. Now, I don't know that you need an accent sign with forte, because it's already loud. Because the accent takes it up a notch from where you're at. So if you play it loud, add an accent, that makes the note very loud. And we don't really need it very loud. Loud is good enough. If you've been playing this soft, then loud is good enough. That'll get their attention. So I don't know that we need an accent here, but they're using it as an excuse to introduce the accent, so let's do that. Accent is an expression mark, how you express the music. You're not just playing note, 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 because a computer can do that. Music is feeling. We get into the music and we feel the music. An accent is one of those things. It's called part of articulation, how you articulate the note or express the note. And in the learning a piece of music, the articulation is something I add in right before the dynamics. I do articulation first and then I do the dynamics. So from now on, I'll have to start talking about articulation, if there is any. There may not be for a while, but you had the accent there. Now, I'll talk more about accents later because you need to know a little more about them. Just right now, just know an accent, you just play a little louder. Not a lot louder, just a little louder for piano. Then the speed, and they don't give you any. This is just kind of in the middle. Just kind of in the middle. Don't copy me, please. The idea is for you to read the music and you discover what it sounds like and then check it with me. So you learn it, no hesitations, and when you're ready, come back to the video and let's play it together slowly just to make sure you have all the right notes and rhythms. You should play the same note I'm playing when I play it. I don't do louds and softs here, just the notes and the rhythms. And I'll give us 2 counts, ready, go, because there's just 2 beats in a measure. Ready, go. 2, 2,